Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's been a pretty exciting week here on the weekly charts and the daily chart for Bitcoin. We have considerably dropped and retraced. So, given that we have broken out of this painful range, it's more appropriate for us to zoom out here in the higher time frames. Previously, we were more zoomed in the lower time frames, but there is some updates here I want to provide on the medium-term time frame that I'm observing. So there's three perspectives here that I want to take a look at. The first perspective is still that we are projecting one more push up before a considerable retrace here for this wave 2. This has been our primary expectation. However, given the extreme bullish news that's been presented today on behalf of Donald Trump, it honestly changes things greatly. You know, we've never had such a extremely bullish or pro crypto administration, a pro SEC, just everything pro crypto at this point. So it's hard to see this steam running out at this point right here. So I'm prepared to look at this a little more differently. I could see this gearing up for an extended fifth, where we have to push this fifth wave up here. Meaning we would build out our 3, 4, 5s, 3, 4, 5s, 3, 4, 5s. But essentially we are in an extended fifth wave. This wouldn't be my primary scenario at this time. I really need to see what type of price action occurs right here. The strength and the swing structure that'll occur in this area is really going to help me understand if we are in a extended fifth or if we just have that one more push up here, which would be the current primary. This one more push up before we get that considerable retrace. Now, as an alternative perspective, I am looking at this potentially as being completed. Where this is more of a relief rally. Either for a X wave or a potential B wave for an expanded flat. Either way, we would still come and attack this low right here and likely dig into the 236, 272 as a minimum for this wave 2. That would be minimum expectations here. And that would also bring us back into prior resistance, where we could have that traditional prior resistance flipped into supports to bring us higher. So these are my main ideas here that I'm observing on the medium-term time frame. Now, it's not about being right. It's not about gloating. It's about remaining objective. And if you don't have any positions in the market, then you really shouldn't have any say in any other person's perspective. And if you're going to, rebuttal someone else's perspective, it's important to have evidence to back up why you're rebuttaling another person's analysis. But again, this is not about being right. It's about managing expectations. And that's the most important thing about trading. And I try to preach that all the time. Manage expectations. So, you know what? I didn't want to actually go into the lower time frames here, but let's actually just dive into the lower time frames just for a little bit. Because I do want to manage expectations on the lower time frames here. Let's take a look. Now I have this as the termination of our minuet C, and we're building up for a wave 1 or a wave A. Just to make it a little more clear, let's bring it there. There we go. So we completed this wave 1 with 13 significant swings. Very impulsive. That's a clear impulse wave. Now I actually was expecting something more like this, where we actually take this low before moving up. But instead, we pretty much completed that correction a lot quicker and built a new base right here. You could say that this was a running flat because it did briefly take that high. So you could actually pivot this over here and say that this is a running flat correction. We're now moving up, and we'd likely get a sharp correction. If we got something like this, I might actually pivot to this idea because it would make sense. We have a shallow structure here, and then more of a sharp structure forming here. That will be my variation here in the lower time frame. But as of right now, still waiting for one more low here to dig into the 236, 272. Want to have some similar time and structure, which is pretty much what we're getting right here, similar time. Then move up for this 3, right into our typical wave 3 zones. Traditional wave 4 retrace, and then a push up finally, where we get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ultimately, for a 1 or an A. Afterwards, we would get that 3-wave retrace for a B or 2. Given how bullish it is, it wouldn't even surprise me if we had a bounce from the 272, 236, where we had a more even shallow 3-wave correction and start moving up from there. That's something that I'll be prepared for as well. But as of right now, bullish impulsive structure moving upwards. Again, either for an A or 1. Once we start taking these highs, we'll have more confidence in this impulse. And I really would like it to be maintained above this expansion. I really don't want this expansion to be touched until we come down for this B or this wave 2. That's typical when we look for depth of corrections. So as of right now, things are looking good, but again, it's important to remain objective and manage expectations. So I'll continue to do that. I update the Discord members constantly on Bitcoin and other assets, but I will continue to update you guys with my weekly updates, and I will continue to update you on Twitter as well. But if you guys enjoy the content, please like it. If you'd like to see even more contents coming out more quickly or sooner, I'd recommend stopping by my Twitter. And if you'd want to see these updates in real time, I'd recommend you stop by the Discord as well. However, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's been a great Sunday so far, and thank you guys for watching. I'll catch everybody next week.